Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive right into the top stories making headlines today. Palantir CEO and CTO have expressed strong support for Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, during the company's fourth quarter earnings webcast. They praised DOGE for its commitment to meritocracy and transparency, which they believe will hold, quote, sacred cows of the deep state accountable. Palantir CTO Shane Sanker highlighted the inefficiency of long-term government software projects and emphasized that DOGE's approach aligned with Palantir's commercial business values. The company's positive outlook on DOGE impact comes as Palantir's market capitalization reached a record $240 billion following a significant surge in its stock. CEO Alex Karp echoed these sentiments, stating that disruption is beneficial for America and Palantir, and expressed optimism about the U.S. environment under DOGE's influence. In January, the private sector saw a significant boost, adding 183,000 jobs, according to ADP. This figure exceeds economists' expectations of 150,000 jobs and was also higher than December's count, 122,000. Neela Richardson, ADP's chief economist, noted that the strong start to 2025 revealed a split in the labor market. Consumer-facing industries led the hiring surge, while business services and production experienced weaker job growth. Key contributors to job growth included trade, transportation, and utilities, which added 56,000 positions, and leisure and hospitality, which added 54,000 jobs. Other sectors such as education, health services, and information also saw job gains. Conversely, manufacturing experienced a decline, losing 13,000 jobs. Large businesses with 500 or more employees added the most jobs, while smaller establishments saw more modest increases. This positive job growth data comes ahead of the Labor Department's non-farm payroll report, which is expected to show an increase of 170,000 positions. Senator Elizabeth Warren in an unexpected move, praised President Trump while defending the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, a regulatory body she helped create. The CFPB, unlike other agencies, determines its funding needs and receives funds directly from the Federal Reserve. Warren's remarks came as Senator Ted Cruz introduced the Defund the CFPB Act, which aims to eliminate these transfers. Warren highlighted that four major banks, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Citibank, accounted for half of all complaints filed at the CFPB. She argued that the CFPB is crucial in preventing unfair debanking practices and criticized Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent for halting CFPB's rulemaking, enforcement, and investigations. Warren's defense of the CFPB emphasizes role in protecting consumers against financial institutions' misconduct. But whatever happened to them when they were debanking conservatives? But under President Trump and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, military recruitment has surged to its highest levels since 2010. The U.S. Army reported enlisting nearly 350 soldiers per day in December 2024, the best December in 15 years. Wow. This growth is attributed to a renewed focus on military readiness and moving away from diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, initiatives. Trump's administration has inspired young Americans eager to serve their country, reversing the decline in recruitment seen during the Biden administration. The shift emphasizes readiness for war and has revitalized America's military forces. This is something you love to see. This is what happened when you put America first. You get more patriots out of it. A new scandal has emerged involving USAID, revealing that the agency has been funding the left-leaning news outlet Politico with over $34 million. This money went towards quote-unquote subscriptions for various bureaucratic officials, with some subscriptions costing over $10,000 each. Wow. These payments were not disclosed by Politico, even as they covered USAID posing as unbiased journalists. Well, we know that that's not the case. This represents a significant breach of journalistic ethics, with accusations that the Biden administration was effectively paying Politico to promote its agenda. The revelation has prompted calls for major investigations into the use of taxpayer money and the potential influence on media coverage. This scandal is just the beginning. It's the tip of the iceberg, with further corruption expected to be uncovered. House Democrats, led by Rep. Al Green, have initiated impeachment proceedings against President Trump just over 2 weeks into his second term. Green cited concerns of ethnic cleansing following Trump's proposal for the U.S. to take control of Gaza. During a press conference, Trump suggested relocating Gaza's population and creating jobs and housing in the area. Now, this is just something he mentioned. He didn't say he didn't actually do it yet, but this man already drew up articles of impeachment. This move comes amidst ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. Green's previous impeachment efforts during Trump's first term were unsuccessful, like this one will be. And with the current Republican-controlled House and Senate, his attempt is also likely to face significant challenges. It would never pass muster because, like I stated, Republicans own both houses. Elon Musk's leading cost-cutting efforts in Trump's administration dismissed Green's announcement, saying nobody cares. And that's true. Randy Wingerton, head of the American Federation of Teachers, has endorsed the idea of shutting down the federal Department of Education, aligning with President Trump's goal. Wingerton stated that education should be managed by states and localities, which already receive 90% of the funding. This unexpected support comes as Trump has tasked his administration with returning federal responsibilities to local governments, and that's what I'm for. I'm all for that. The move has led to education department employees being put on leave for promoting diversity and equity campaigns. Trump's broader government shakeup aims to cut costs and reduce bureaucracy under the guidance of Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency. Wingerton's comments have sparked debate and some social media approval for her stance. A recent poll by Siena College reveals that President Donald Trump is more popular than Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul among New Yorkers. Wow. Trump's favorability rating in the Empire State has increased to 41%, up from 37% in December, while only 39% of voters view Hochul favorably. That's because they jacked up prices and you got to pay all these tolls to get through New York. Hochul faces significant criticism for her handling of congestion pricing, which has impacted her approval rating. Additionally, only 31% of New Yorkers would vote to re-elect her, with 57% preferring another candidate. Trump's job approval rating in New York stands at 46.51%. Despite losing the state in the 2024 election, Trump continues to gain favor among residents. The Trump administration, with the help of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, has decided to place nearly all USAID staff on administrative leave starting this Friday. This action is part of a broader plan to merge USAID with the State Department, effectively dismantling it as an independent entity. You got to understand, they are under the executive branch. Even though the Democrats are fighting against this, this is ultimately up to Trump because it is under his branch. But exceptions are made for personnel in mission critical functions, core leadership, and specially designed programs. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will act as the interim director following the freeze of billions in grants to review and halt funding of left-wing projects. Critics argue this move is an attempt to eliminate a vital agency, while supporters believe it will root out corruption and misuse of taxpayer money. And y'all know where I lie on that. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is facing criticism due to low approval ratings. According to a new poll by the Illinois Policy Institute Lincoln poll, only 14% of Chicagoans view him favorably. Only 14%. While 79.9% have an unfavorable opinion. This guy, because they know who he is. They know he's a socialist dirtbag, and the cat is out the bag now. So even leftists can't stand this man any longer. Well, voters are concerned about crime, high taxes, and city governance. During a city hall briefing, Johnson emphasized that deportation policy is a federal responsibility and stressed the separation between police duties and federal immigration enforcement. The U.S. House Oversight and Government Reform Committee has launched an investigation into sanctuary jurisdictions, requesting documents related to Chicago's policies. Despite the challenges, Johnson defended his mansion tax proposal to address homelessness, even though voters previously rejected it. He don't care about the voters. He also highlighted the city's need for revenue due to a projected $1 billion budget deficit. And notice he doesn't talk about balancing the budget and not overspending. He's asking for more tax dollars. Argentina's libertarian president, Javier Milei, has announced that the country is withdrawing from the World Health Organization, aligning with President Trump's America. This decision stems from deep differences with the WHO on health policy, particularly their response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Milei's spokesman, Manuel Adorni, criticized the WHO's public health recommendations, including lockdowns and vaccine mandates, for causing significant economic damage and lacking independence due to ties with the communist China. And that's something that I've talked about to ad nauseum, the ties with communist China, how communist China really runs the WHO. Milei also opposes the WHO's pandemic treaty, which he believes undermines national sovereignty, and so do I. Adorni emphasized Argentina's refusal to allow an international organization to intervene in its health policies, nor should it. Good for them for standing up. Bill Gates recently shared his belief that advancements in artificial intelligence will significantly reduce the need for human workers in most areas. Speaking on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Gates mentioned that while AI will replace many jobs, humans might still be needed for entertainment roles like sports and talk shows. I don't know about the talk shows because I've been playing around with this program that turns pretty much anything into a podcast. But Gates acknowledged that this shift is both exciting and concerning as it ventures into new territory. He also expressed worries about the potential for another pandemic, like he always threatened, in the next 4 years, urging for preparedness. Well, how did he know this, right? Despite the controversy surrounding USAID and its funding, Gates defended the agency's work, stressing the importance of global health initiatives. Lastly, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is alarmed by President Trump's decision to cut funding for foreign organizations that support globalist agendas, fearing it will create significant challenges for the UN. So it goes to show how much the United States actually put into these organizations, how much they depend on our funding. In a letter to the UN staff, Guterres emphasized the importance of the UN's work during these times and assured them that efforts are being made to mitigate the impact. Trump's America First policy aims to ensure that U.S. foreign assistance aligns with his administration's goals. As part of his of this policy, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has paused all the U.S. foreign assistance programs pending review, like I alluded to earlier. The move aims to address government waste, such as a $2 million program for LGBT activism in Guatemala. That's just crazy. And $1.5 million DEI project in Serbia. This has led to concerns within the UN and other globalist groups about increased accountability and transparency. So that's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.